What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to
200K. And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
On his way to work, Yalcin Yannick stops by to check on the Syrian refugee families in the neighborhood and ask them how they're doing and if they need anything. They call him Yalcin Abi, Brother Yalcin. Yannick is Turkish, but in his hometown, Izmir, he's often himself taken for a refugee. Specifically, he's an Afro-Turk, a descendant of African slaves brought here in the mid-19th century by the Ottoman Empire. On the streets and even in his own leather workshop, he's been called black in a derogatory manner, or Arap, Turkish for Arab.
These remarks even come from my own acquaintances. Although they're meant as jokes, a year might go by without any remarks like that at all. And then I might hear them 10 times in 1 week.
But Turks of African origin, like Yalcin Yannick, are growing more confident. Once a year, they celebrate a festival in Izmir with people coming all the way from the Americas and Africa. Izmir's mayor also came to underscore his liberal image. But many passers-by are still surprised that Afro-Turks exist.
Really? These people here? I wasn't aware of them.
Very few of the Afro-Turks themselves know their roots. Forced assimilation has consigned their history and culture to oblivion. Now their descendants want to change that. Some years ago they founded an association for the purpose.
Up to now we haven't been able to say who we are exactly. Of course we're Turks, we're born here. But there's more to it. Something was always missing.
In a disadvantaged suburb of Izmir, the Yannick family sits down to breakfast. Like most Afro-Turks, they are of modest means. They have little time to delve into their past. Yalcin believes his ancestors came from Tanzania, but that's about all he knows.
Even if you do want to research it, hardly any documents from that time can be found.
Yalcin's children haven't learned anything about the history of the African slaves in school either. It's not even mentioned. But they've had their experiences with day-to-day racism.
I really don't like to be in crowds. I feel uncomfortable and frightened. When I was a kid, it was worse. I would try to hide under a chair.
The annual Afro-Turk festival concludes with a big picnic. The Yannicks try to get together with other Afro-Turks more often these days. The food here is Turkish. The music too. But recently, grass skirts and brightly colored shirts have become popular. Nobody here can afford an actual trip to Africa, so they're happy to see more and more Africans visiting Turkey.
Whenever we meet people from Nigeria or Sudan here in Turkey, we invite them over and have them tell us all about their home countries and cultures. Of course, we'd like to travel to Africa ourselves. And maybe someday this dream will come true.
But Yalcin Yannick wants to bring about change here in Turkey. In 2018, he ran for parliament as a candidate for a left-wing party. But he didn't collect enough votes to become the first Afro-Turkish representative in the Grand National Assembly.
We're already more visible in many areas of society. Now it's time for us to go into politics. Time for a black president or minister. Or just a black village elder.
Yalcin Yannick thinks the time is ripe. Some 160 years after slavery was abolished, Afro-Turks are demanding their place in Turkish society.
Nah, 100%. Yeah, we're gonna stop that right there. your voice is important to the community. That's always, you know what I'm saying? I can understand why he want a black mayor, a black president, however that may look. But I want to go back to the part where they were speaking at the table as a family about how they're not aware of their history. Sometimes when you're not aware of your history, the world can put a title on you and you accept it. And 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with who you are, where you came from. And then we move into it in a direction that has nothing to do with our purpose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like always knowing your history and knowing where you come from, or just knowing a little bit about your background can help you in the day-to-day society when people are coming approaching you, like the name calling and things of that nature. You're not going to take that so easily when you start to understand what those words mean and how they was brought up to your people back in the days.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
And that makes me think about the all of the names that we have been called in this country until we named ourselves.
Oh, that's powerful.
Right? So that it makes me think of that. And of course, for us being descendants of enslaved Africans in America, we can relate with some of the things that they were saying, but because the Ottoman Empire was before the transatlantic slave trade, I'm shocked that this is still their reality today, not having representation in their government.
Yeah.
And people calling them racial slurs and them being afraid of being in crowds and things. And just as an African American and how proud we are of our heritage, of our lineage, the achievements that we have been able to make here. Although when you really look at the whole scope of the United States, like we're a little speck.
Nah, real
you know,
talk.
we're still a minority, but we have still been able to make so many changes to make this place comfortable.
Yeah, we
for
stand
us.
out.
We still have a long way to go with a lot of things, but I'm not afraid to go out in a crowd. I'm not afraid of somebody calling me a racial slur. I'm a fuss back at you. You know,
Gonna put some respect on it.
Put some respect on my name, okay?
Right.
But I think that this is our first time really discussing the Ottoman Empire when it comes to Afro-Turks.
Yeah, I
This
feel
is our
that.
first time discussing that here. And I just love that they have a yearning to want to connect.
And that's what I was going
Connect
to
with the
speak on next, because even when they have people from Africa that come over, they want to learn their history, want to learn about the motherland.
Yeah.
Because like you mentioned, they don't have too many resources.
Right.
And that is very damaging for people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when you have a community that want to thrive and move forward, you have to have resources for that. You know what I'm saying? Without any more knowledge, you're going to look at everything around you without a knowing of it.
But I wonder. Now, I would have to go back and look into the Ottoman Empire because there's still so much that, although I know a lot, I still learn about our history today. But I know with the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of the documentations and things were kept by the Catholic churches. So I wonder if there's something similar with the Ottoman Empire.
I feel like it's all connected.
All connected.
It's all connected.
So I wonder if like the Arabs held on to any trace of anything. Like recently I was looking at our genealogy. I came across, what was it? I showed it to you. The manifest. The boats and all of that stuff. Yeah. So I wonder if they have anything like that. So this is interesting. Would love to dig a little bit more. Y'all know we nosy. Okay? We want to dig a little bit more into that part, a different slave trade that we haven't touched on. We covered transatlantic slave trade a lot because that's our history. Yeah. But we'd love to, connect with the diaspora over there on that. All right, so we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.